Right now, if you're a woman, reach into your pocket. Go ahead. Try to fit your phone in there. Can't do it, can you? That's not an accident. For 300 years, women weren't allowed to have real pockets. And the reason why will make you furious. This is the history of the pocket. It's not just about fashion, it's about control and independence. A deliberate conspiracy to keep women dependent on men. When you can't carry your own money, keys, or possessions, you're not truly free. Someone made sure women couldn't. Pockets seem simple, a piece of fabric sewn into clothing, a place to carry things. But pockets represent something profound: independence. With pockets, you can carry money, tools, weapons, documents. You can move through the world self-sufficiently. You have everything you need, literally. Men figured this out in the 1600s. Before pockets, everyone, men and women, carried small bags tied around their waist, hidden under their clothes. These were called pockets, originally from the French word poke, meaning pouch. You'd reach through slits in your dress or coat to access them. It worked. Then, in the early 1600s, tailors started sewing pockets directly into men's clothing: breeches, waistcoats, jackets. Suddenly, men had quick access to coins, watches, handkerchiefs, tobacco. They could move faster, carry more, operate independently. And women kept using the tie-on pouches hidden under massive skirts. Inconvenient and slow to access. For a while, both systems coexisted. Men had sewn-in pockets, women had tie-on pockets. Both groups could carry their possessions. Then fashion changed, and women's pockets disappeared entirely. Here's where it gets deliberate. In the late 1700s, women's fashion shifted dramatically. The French Revolution brought a new aesthetic: thin, flowing dresses, inspired by ancient Greece and Rome. Empire waistlines, delicate muslins, clingy silhouettes. And there was no room. The old tie-on pockets created bulk under the dress. They ruined the sleek lines, so women were told, abandon your pockets, carry a reticule instead, a small handbag held in your hand or dangling from your wrist. This seems like a fashion choice, but here's what it really meant. You couldn't carry money discreetly. Your reticule was visible. Everyone could see what you had or didn't have. You couldn't move freely. You had to hold your bag or risk losing it. Try running while clutching a tiny purse. You couldn't protect yourself. Men carried knives and pistols in their pockets. Women, nothing. You became dependent. If you needed something carried, you asked a man. If you needed to travel, you needed help. The reticule wasn't liberation, it was a leash. And the fashion industry. But here's what nobody tells you. The disappearance of women's pockets wasn't just about aesthetics. It became an industry. When women lost pockets, they had to buy bags, reticules, purses, handbags. An entire market was created by removing functionality from women's clothes. By the mid-1800s, handbag manufacturing was booming. Leather goods companies and fashion houses profited from the fact that women had nowhere to put their belongings. Men still had pockets, multiple pockets. Inside pockets, breast pockets, trouser pockets. They could carry everything they needed without buying it. Women were forced to purchase external solutions to a problem that had been deliberately created. And it gets worse. In the 19th century, women began demanding pockets back. Society resisted. Dress reformers in the 1850s argued that women's fashion was impractical, unhealthy, and they designed rational dress, clothing with pockets, comfortable waistlines, shorter skirts. These women were mocked, ridiculed, even harassed in public. Why? Because pockets symbolized independence. When the suffragette movement gained momentum in the early 1900s, women activists deliberately wore clothes with pockets. They needed to carry pamphlets, coins for transit, bail money in case they were arrested during protests. Some department stores refused to sell women's clothing with real pockets. Tailors were discouraged from adding them. There was an unspoken rule: women's pockets should be decorative. Even when pockets started appearing in women's clothing, they were made uselessly small, a token gesture. Fake pockets sewn on for appearance with no actual opening, or pockets so shallow you couldn't fit more than a single coin. This wasn't accidental. The excuse given was always the same: women prefer style over function. Women care more about how they look than practicality. Studies show this is a lie. In 2018, researchers measured pockets in men's and women's jeans from the results: women's front pockets were 48% shorter and 65% narrower than men's. In 80% of women's jeans, the front pockets couldn't fit a standard smartphone. In men's jeans, 100% could. This isn't preference, this is systemic design. When researchers asked women if they wanted functional pockets, over 90% said yes. Most preferred both style and function. Men's clothing proves this. Men have pockets everywhere. Cargo pants have more pockets than any reasonable person needs. Fast forward to today, you'd think the problem would be solved, but it's not. Walk into any clothing store, compare men's pants to women's pants. The difference is staggering. Women's pants are filled with fake pockets, sewn shut, decorative pockets, or real pockets, so shallow you can barely. Even women's boyfriend jeans, styled to look like men's jeans, have smaller pockets than the men's versions. The fashion industry's response: women carry purses anyway, which is circular logic. Women carry purses because they don't have pockets. They don't have pockets because the industry assumes they carry purses. But here's a deeper issue. Pockets aren't just about convenience. They're about autonomy. Think about what you carry in your pockets: phone, wallet, keys, headphones, some cash. These are the tools of independence. Your phone connects you to the world. Your wallet holds your money and ID. Your keys give you access. When you have pockets, you have agency. You can leave the house with everything you need. You're not tethered to a bag. For most of history, men had this freedom, women didn't. And even today, that inequality persists. Subtly, quietly, but it's there. Women's clothing prioritizes appearance over function. Men's clothing assumes functionality is default. This isn't biology. This is design philosophy rooted in centuries of gendered expectation. Pockets are sewn into these assumptions, literally. But here's the good news. Women are pushing back. In the last decade, brands have started making women's clothing with real functional pockets. Some market equal pocket rights as a selling point. Activists have created social media campaigns demanding. Women are vocally demanding what should have been standard all along. And it's working slowly. Some major brands have begun increasing pocket sizes in women's jeans. Athletic wear companies are adding pockets to leggings. Revolutionary concept. But the fight isn't over. Every time you buy clothing without functional pockets, you're supporting the system that created pocket inequality. Pockets aren't just pockets. They're a statement about who deserves. For 3 centuries, women were told their clothing couldn't accommodate pockets, that pockets would ruin the silhouette, that women didn't need them anyway. But the truth is simpler. Pockets give you independence. And for most of history, women weren't supposed to be independent. The pocket is one of the smallest, most overlooked features of clothing. Yet it represents one of the most persistent forms of everyday sexism stitched into the fabric of our. The fact that we're still fighting for equal pockets in 2026 tells you everything about how deeply these old assumptions are embedded. You can't be truly free if you can't carry your own life with you, and someone decided women shouldn't. From reticules to fake pockets to the modern handbag industry, the history of the pocket is a men got pockets, women got purses, and that divide was never about fashion. It was about power. When you reach for your pocket or can't remember, history is everywhere, even in the things